everybody, welcome to Poly Games. I'm your host Joseph. I have my Pope Splatoon hat on, so you know that means we're going to talk about Nintendo. But it's not the talk that we think we're going to have here. Instead of talking about ARMS and the impressions it left on me this weekend, today I have to talk about Twintelle, a character from ARMS, Nintendo's newly pushed out IP that Nintendo is trying to make it the next big IP. Twintelle is the only brown-skinned character in the game, for lack of better words, that has weaponized hair. And a author called Tanya DePass from Mike.com has brought issue to that hairstyle and what my response to that is going to be. Now, we've heard a lot about Nintendo being sexist over the past and even sometimes racist. We've seen things like Jinx, the Pokemon, right? Rightfully so. In the beginning, Jinx was totally black and it looked black face, and they made Jinx purple because of that. Now, this Twintelle character, she is the only brown-skinned character in the game, and her hair is weaponized. And what the author has problems with is that this is the only brown character, and why does her hair have to be ridiculous? That, you know, black people, minorities' hair usually in the real world is looked upon negatively, that some people are even denied jobs because the hairstyle to them is just not professional. It's not, I guess, white enough. Now, to try to stop bringing real world into video games for a second here, Twintelle's argument at the end of the day is that black people's hair in video games, often they aren't good at all. That they, you know, it may sound like they're nitpicking, but what they really want is realistic hair choices for African Americans or black people and minorities worldwide. And she also brings up the point how 70% or 76% of the game industry is white males. So she's trying to kind of draw the assumption that just white people don't get it and that we need more minority voices in video games, which to an extent I totally agree with. We need more women, we need more minorities in video games. Only could bring great things. But with that all said, her argument is incredibly weak. It's actually almost to the point where there is no argument here. Twintelle, yes, she's the only brown-skinned character in the game. There is also a little Asian girl inside of a mech fighting all people as well. So are there some Japanese developers also self-hating Japanese people? I don't know. There's also anime characters and manga characters in Japanese culture that have weaponized hair, that are white, that are blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, just like the stereotypical white person would be. Even Bayonetta is another great example of weaponized hair. The whole game is surrounding on the fact that her hair grants her all these powers, all the abilities, all these different, even articles of clothing is just her hair. So the argument here is, why is this person's hair so outrageous, so crazy? Why is her hair weaponized? Because that's what the artist wanted. Because that's what they thought would be cool to make this character different than someone like Ribbon Girl, who is already a female in the game that has ribbon arms. So maybe they're trying to do something different. Whatever the artist wants, to me, that's what the artist gets, and as long as there's no problem with it, I'm fine with it. When it comes to this argument of why black people's hair aren't that great in video games, it's because hair is extremely hard to program for. Any developer out there will tell you that hair is one of the hardest things to do in video games, and we still haven't even got it right. Tanya would like to make the assumption that all, you know, black people's hair looks bad, and what I would like to say the argument there is, all video game characters' hair looks bad. All of them look terrible. You know, I saw a How Did This Get Made of Warcraft the movie. God, I know, what a terrible example of what a terrible movie. But they actually had to make their own program just for the hair to make it look realistic, to make it look like those little strands of hair were real. Horizon Zero Dawn got a lot of praise, not just because it's a great game and it looks beautiful, but because of the hair animations, the hair physics, the hair itself looked possibly some of the best hair in video games to date was in that game. So we have come a long way for hair in video game industry. A lot of people back in the day, there's actually, I believe there was a interview with a developer on Kinda Funny talking about why there wasn't any good female hair for the longest time, and that's because hair physics is extremely hard to do and to overcome. So yes, I understand the frustration here about, African American characters and how there's a lack of minorities in the gaming industry. And I feel like we should encourage everybody to be creative, to go out there, to take risks, to be a creator, whether you're white, black, woman, whatever, male. Go out there, be passionate, do the things you want to do. And that is my main thing here. I've said it in videos past and I'll say it again. These people, these developers, they're thinking about the product at hand. They're focused on the story and the characters that they want to present to you. And yes, sometimes we can get a little bit carried away when it comes to the critiques. These people are trying to make the stories they want to tell. And just to critique that there's shitty hair options in video games is a really lousy argument to make. I understand that in video games, especially when it comes to black people in video games, there hasn't been a lot of representation up until this point. That we see more, black characters, more Hispanic characters, and a hell of a lot more female characters in the past 3 years that we've seen in the last 30. I understand the frustration that you guys have, but it is happening. Change is coming, and it's because you let the artists be the artists, tell the story they want to tell. When you try to dictate every little movement a developer makes, that just stifles creativity to me. Let the artists tell the story they want to make. Let's not make everything an issue. Twindet's hair is not a problem to me, just like how, the little Mexican mummy guy is not a problem to me. Just like how the little Asian girl in the mech suit is not a problem to me. Nothing is a problem unless really, in terms of arms, until you make it a problem. And that's the one thing I really can't stand is this nitpicking of characters. There was also an article, and I'll cut this video short, of how why is dark characters always the evil characters in video games. How there's a dark Ken or a dark Zelda suit, or even, let's just say, even the symbiote suit in Spider-Man. Why is it always black depicted as evil? Why is even a criticism that Darth Vader is black in Star Wars until he takes off the helmet and he's white? And that's just because visually, black, literally the color black, not brown, is always been a great illustrator of evil, while light, literally white, the color white, not the skin, is always depicted as good. That's why you see, dark forms of this character or that character. It's not because they're minorities. They're not saying, Dark Ken is coming out there and Dark Ken he's just brown. Dark Ken, when he comes out there, he's black. When Spider-Man wears the symbiote on him, his skin tone isn't automatically brown. These arguments that are constantly nitpicking are making hills to die on that shouldn't be there. We should be talking about bigger issues at hand rather than hair and dark characters. I don't get it. Let the artist be the artist. So I don't want to beat that over the head too much, guys. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. How did you like ARMS? Do you think the weaponized hair is a little bit too much? Let me know in the comment section down below. Here at Polygames, it's all about the conversation. It's not about name calling. So when people go out there and they call this lady, which I've seen it in the comment sections, they actually had to disable it. Call her a bitch, call her a cunt, call her all these really nasty, horrible things. You lose that argument immediately and you make her right. So please, defeat her argument with logic instead of insults. And please, down here as well in the comment section, treat people like people. I know, it's hard, it's the internet. But with all that said, everybody, if you like this video and want to see more, please, please, please like, share, subscribe. It helps me out. It grows this channel. Ring that bell if you always want to see this ugly mug in front of your computer screen. And with that said, everybody, have a great day.